Hey, all right. So this is the 19 question engine, a series of questions that it appears that the best authors are answering when they write the best stories. And you're actually using this whenever you experience any story. This is how you think. So this is A Scandal in Bohemia by Arthur Conan Doyle, starring Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. It's a mystery about, let's see, it's about a betrothal. It's about a woman scorned. It's about a woman getting back at the scorner. Something like that? I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong word. All right, so this is A Scandal in Bohemia by Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay, so here it goes. So the first question is, what happened? He is dead, cried several voices. What did they do? No, there's life in him, shouted another. What started all this? Well, he'll be gone before you can get them to a hospital. Which meant? He's a brave fellow, said a woman. They would have had the lady's purse and watch if it hadn't been for him. They were a gang, and a rough one too. Ah, he's breathing now. What did they want? He can't lie in the street. May we bring him in, marm? Surely. Bring him into the sitting room. There's a comfortable sofa there. This way. What might follow that? Slowly and solemnly, he was borne into Briony Lodge and laid out in the principal room. Who made this go deeper? While I still observed the proceedings from my post by the window, what was their problem? The lamps had been lit, but the blinds had not been drawn, so that I could see Holmes as he laid upon the couch. What would you expect? I do not know whether he was seized with compunction at that moment for the part he was playing. Holmes was in disguise. How did it turn personal? But I know I never felt more heartily ashamed of myself in my life. How did it become deeply personal? Then when I saw the beautiful creature against whom I was conspiring, or by the grace and kindliness with which she waited upon the injured man. What did it make them conclude? Holmes had sat up on the couch. Who sets off the climax? And I saw him motion like a man who is in need of air. What's their problem? A maid rushed across and threw open a window. What did they conclude? At that same instant, I saw him raise his hand, and at the signal, what mattered to them most? I tossed my smoke rocket into the room with a cry of fire. What did they conclude about that? The word was no sooner out of my mouth than the whole crowd of spectators, well-dressed and ill, gentlemen, ostlers, servant maids, all joined in a general shriek of fire. What does that lead to? Thick clouds of smoke curled through the room, and out the window I caught a glimpse of the rushing figures, and a moment later the voice of Holmes from within assuring them it was a false alarm. What happens next? Oh, so the climax is the awesome part of this. Well, the whole thing is. So Holmes sat up on the couch. Who sets out the climax? Holmes sat up on the couch. What's the problem? I saw him motion like a man who's in need of air. What was the conclusion? A maid rushed across and threw open a window. And at the same moment, there you go. And then the most awesome part of this story. What mattered the most in this part of the story? That at the same time I saw him raise his hand and give the signal, right? And it sets off the the next part of the adventure. If you're loving this and you want to learn more about the 19 question engine, I made a video that's 19 minutes long that explains it even more. So if you're interested in taking your writing to the next level, click the link down below. I'm so happy that you're taking the first steps towards finishing your book. Later.